Are you currently scouring the internet trying to find that perfect Atlanta neighborhood and striking out? Well, I'm going to bring to you 5 more underrated neighborhoods that may not be on your radar, and I'll tell you why I like them. So stay tuned, that's all coming up right now. Hey guys, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel where I talk all things living here in the Atlanta area. Now, if you watched one of my prior videos, I already put out a video of 5 underrated neighborhoods and I think you guys like that one, so I'm gonna do another one. So I know you guys are searching the internet trying to find those perfect houses in those perfect neighborhoods. You're searching, top 5 neighborhoods to live in, but man, those get expensive. So I wanna bring to your attention 5 different neighborhoods that may not be on your radar that I like for different various reasons. Stick around, we're going to talk all about them right now. Now, quick reminder, the neighborhoods I'm going to suggest are all ones that are inside the perimeter ITP. I'm not going to be talking about suburbs, so just keep that in mind. So number 1 on my list today is going to be Eastlake. So if you're looking for like that in-town neighborhood striking out, Eastlake is probably one of the more easternmost neighborhoods, so it's a little further from the center of the city, but you can find a lot of those charming bungalows, newer craftsman builds, and there are things fairly close by to it. Now, Eastlake doesn't have as much going on in this neighborhood. They have a few things, but let me talk about home prices first. So the average single family home price in this neighborhood is $750,000. I would say ranging, for a smaller bungalow, you could get something in the low to mid 600s. But if you're wanting something newer, Eastlake is starting to see some new builds hit just over the $1 million mark, but I would say anywhere from like that 900K to 1.2 million is where you'll find some of those newer, larger craftsman style homes. So if you've got a budget anywhere from, I'd say 600 to 1.2, 1.3, Eastlake might be a good option for you. You can find a mixture of kind of old bungalow charm and newer craftsman modern. Now, as far as things to do, Eastlake, it doesn't have a ton in it. They do have, this one corner called Second in Hosea where there is a coffee shop, there is a place to grab something to eat, just a few little restaurants. But the great thing is that it is right next door within, I'd say, less than a mile walk over to the Oakhurst Village area, which is city of Decatur. So you can go over there and enjoy all the restaurants that are over in the Oakhurst area, or you can hop over just again another mile over to the east into the downtown Kirkwood area for some more places to grab something to eat. So you are very close by to some other areas with some retail, restaurants, that kind of thing. And Target is also just down the road a few more miles. So pretty close proximity to some other things to do. And the great thing about being so close to the city of Decatur is that you can use all the city of Decatur amenities, but not have to pay that pricey city of Decatur property tax. So that's just one other thing to keep in mind. Also, you do have a higher priority in getting into the lottery for the Drew Charter School. So that's also something to consider if you are looking into schools and looking at school options. Also, the Eastlake neighborhood has the Eastlake Golf Club in its backyard. So that's kind of a really pretty backdrop and setting for this neighborhood. And I think it's every September the PGA Tour comes and plays a tournament in this neighborhood. So that's kind of fun for the Eastlake community. But I would say, if you are craving kind of all the stuff that happens over in like the center of the city, like Midtown, Piedmont Park, festivals, things going on there, it's only about a 20-minute drive. So it's not that far to drive into town, and you'll be able to find a home that costs maybe just a little bit less than if you lived a couple miles closer into town. So it's a great trade-off. Now I have a complete vlog tour of the Eastlake neighborhood, so if you want to check that out, just go to my channel and you can watch it there. Now the easiest thing you can do is just reach out to me. Don't be shy. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whatever is easiest for you, and we can sit down, schedule a time to have a conversation and see what neighborhoods will best fit your lifestyle and your budget. So don't hesitate to reach out. Number 2 on my list is the sweet little neighborhood of Huntley Hills, but shh, don't tell too many people about this neighborhood. I don't want the secret to come out, you guys, okay? This is a neighborhood in the city of Chamblee. It is in like the northeast section, just under I-285. At first you might think, oh my gosh, you're gonna hear that I-285 traffic noise. You really don't unless you're maybe right along it, but It is a very quiet neighborhood full of ranch style homes. I would say on average about 1,700 square feet. So if you're looking for bigger homes for, 5 kids and 2 dogs and a cat, this may not be the neighborhood for you because it is a little bit of the older 1950, 1916, 1960 ranch style homes, but they're on pretty decent sized lots. The average price point in this neighborhood is $563,000 for a single family home. So, relatively speaking, for a home ITP in an established area of town, you can't really beat that. So I really like this because of the price point, and if you're looking for single family living, you certainly can find a lot of ranch style homes here. And I've seen some really cute ones come on the market recently, kind of in that mid 500K price point. There are a couple of newer construction homes popping up in the neighborhood, but that is very minimal right now. I'd say those newer construction homes, 700 to 900K at the most. This neighborhood also has a neighborhood swim and tennis club that you can join. So if you're looking to have some pool access, you don't have to travel very far. It's right in this neighborhood. I also like that it's also just about 2 miles from the downtown Chamblee area that has a cute strip of restaurants, things to do. They do, concerts in the summertime. So that's only 2 miles away. And so you can enjoy some things to do that's pretty close to where you live. Now, one of the main ways to enter into the Huntley Hills neighborhood is off of Peachtree Boulevard. And I remember back in the day, it wasn't a very scenic area right around there. It was just full of car dealerships. But now Peachtree Boulevard has exploded with all these mixed-use developments with some restaurants. There's a Whole Foods down the way. There's a Walmart not too far away as well. So a lot has changed leading up into the Huntley Hills neighborhood. One other thing I do like about this neighborhood is that Huntley Hills is close to highway access. So if you need to get onto I-285, it is really simple to do that as well. Now, I don't have a full vlog tour on the Huntley Hills neighborhood right now on my channel, but if you want to go to my Chamblee vlog tour, near the end of that video, I do walk around the Huntley Hills video at the end, so you can see a little bit more of that neighborhood there. Okay, number 3 on my list is La Vista Park. I have a vlog tour of that. You can certainly go watch that on my channel, but I love this area for its convenience factor. It does get a little bit more pricey, but if you are looking for a newer construction home, relatively speaking, if you bought this home, a couple miles closer into town, you would be paying probably another 25% more than you would here in La Vista Park. So the average sales price for a home in La Vista Park right now is $1.435 million. Now, this is a mix of sprawling ranches on good sized lots mixed in with newer construction, and that newer construction ranges anywhere from like 1.6 million up to 2.6 million. And they're building a lot of big modern homes because there are really big lot sizes that you can get here in La Vista Park. Now, one thing, like I said, is La Vista Park is very convenient to a lot of locations. If you're working over at Emory or the new Children's Hospital, literally this is like a 5-minute commute over to the new Children's Hospital. Right down the way, there is also a small little retail area with a Starbucks, Panera, that kind of thing. So you do have some of those conveniences right there as well. Also, you're right next to I-285. So if you need to pop onto I-285, you can certainly do that. You're probably 15 minutes to the center of Buckhead, 15 minutes to Midtown. So it's just a really great location, and it's a quiet neighborhood. So if you're seeking kind of a suburban feel without being far out into the suburbs, you certainly can find that here in La Vista Park. And they have some very pretty homes in this neighborhood. Like I said, modern. There's a lot of modern homes coming up in this neighborhood. But if you just like a nice sprawling ranch, you can certainly get one there in that 7 to probably 900K price range. Number 4 on my list, I'm going to take it over to the west side and talk about Knight Park House Station. Now, I think a lot of people just will call this House Station for short. This is a small little community just west of the popular West Midtown area with all of the restaurants and that kind of thing. If you've been looking for a charming charming bungalow striking out in Candler Park or Grant Park because those areas have gotten a little too pricey, maybe come over and look at homes over in the Howell Station area. Now, there's not usually a lot of homes for sale at one time because this is a pretty small neighborhood, but you certainly will not have to pay quite as much. The average price for a single family home in this neighborhood right now is around $635,000 and pretty decent square footage at around 1,900 square feet. There's certainly some homes that are much smaller square footage, and you can get those probably in the 500K price range. I don't know if you can find things in the 400K price range anymore, might become extinct. But if you're looking for brand new construction, there's definitely some that have popped up anywhere from that 700 to 900K price range. Now, there are some downsides with this neighborhood. It is it's on the west side of Atlanta, where it is a lot more industrial. So when you get outside this neighborhood, it's a little industrial looking, a little raw looking, and the Atlanta prison is south of this neighborhood, so that's not quite ideal, but I'd say it is pretty shielded and you would never really know it's in the neighborhood unless you were looking for it. But you certainly can find a lot of cute bungalows here. Now, there's not a lot that you can walk to in the neighborhood. There's no like retail within the neighborhood, you know, a local coffee shop, that kind of thing. But it is very close to a lot of other things that make this neighborhood very convenient. You can get over to the Chattahoochee Food Works or Top Golf. That's about a mile away. You can get over to West Midtown with all of those restaurants. That's about a mile away, or skip over I-85 and be over in the Midtown area. So, you know, a mile and a half, 2 miles away. And it's also right next to the Atlanta Beltline. It's right on the western side of this neighborhood, so you can hop on the Beltline there. And it's also right next to the Atlanta West Side Park. So if you're looking for some green space, you're really close to that as well. One of the most latest developments that has popped up near Howell Station that you can walk to is West Side Paper. This used to be an old paper factory that is now a mixed-use development with some office space, and there are some restaurants there. There's even a brewery. I ate at the taco place and it was a good, pretty affordable taco. So I enjoyed that a lot. And then I just saw on the news that they are building this West Side Spur. So it's going to go right behind the building and connect over into the West Side Trail Spur. And so this is going to be just another great link to connect Howell Station and other neighborhoods into, you know, the downtown area. So, you know, if you're working over at Georgia Tech, I think this could be a great spot for you to live at because you can not have a very long commute over to the Georgia Tech campus from Howell Station. So there you go, that's Howell Station. I do have a vlog tour of this neighborhood. You can certainly check that one out on my channel. Finally, the last one on my list is a neighborhood called Leafmore Creek. This is in the North Decatur neighborhood. Average price point for a home in this neighborhood is around $635,000. It's consisted mainly of ranch style homes on really good sizable lots. I mean, you can find anything from 0.4 to, I saw one that was on 0.7 acres of land. You would never know that you live so close to the city. It feels kind of like a suburb. So I don't have a individual video on this neighborhood, but I do mention it in my North Decatur vlog tour. But what I do like about this neighborhood is it just feels kind of like an established neighborhood, nice sprawling ranches that have been well taken care of. It is right across the street from the popular Toco Hills shopping center. So getting all your groceries and getting some casual bites to eat is super easy because it is just right next door. You can also hit a trail and connect over into the Mason Mill Park, which has a series of spurs of walking trails. So if you are into exercising, running, that kind of thing, you can certainly get over to those trails very easily. There's also the Cabs tennis center that's in the middle of that Mason Mill Park. So if you're into tennis, you've got several tennis courts right there at your fingertips. This is also a great location if you work over at Emory or the Children's Hospital, very close to those hospitals as well. And you know, if you're wanting to get over to I-85, that is a really quick straight shot up Claremont onto I-85 if you have to commute. So I think this is just a lovely area. Again, it's an area that if you don't like being in the city, but you want to be close to it, this is a great area to consider. All right, well, that concludes my list for today of some hidden gems here in the Atlanta area that you may not have been thinking about. And hey, if you haven't watched my first video of 5 underrated neighborhoods in the Atlanta area, make sure you go back and watch that video because that might give you some other ideas. But you guys, the easiest thing to do is reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whatever you prefer, and we can schedule a time to sit down and talk about your lifestyle and your budget and try to come up with some ideas of which neighborhoods are best going to suit your lifestyle. So don't hesitate to reach out. And if you see me on the wild, make sure you say hello. Okay, there was some lady that saw me in the grocery store. She thought it was me, but wasn't for sure. Then she sent me a text later and was like, I think I saw you in Publix. And I was like, yeah, you should have said hello. So if that is you next time and you see me, make sure you say hello. I'd love to meet you and say thank you for watching my channel. So thanks you guys for following along, and until next time, I'll see you around the neighborhood.